Hello guys, this will be the second video in my historical documentary series. If you have any ideas for what the next video should be, please leave them in the comments. Enjoy the video! On 1492, October 12th, Christopher Columbus landed on San Salvador, or what is today known as the Bahamas. Following the news of a so-called New World, in 1606, James I of England settled on the shores of North America, creating the first British colony, Jamestown. As the European powers, such as France, Spain, and Britain, slowly expanded, tensions began to rise in this so-called New World. France, finally taking claims for most of its colonial empire, erupted in battles across the globe, mainly in North America, where the British beat them back. That would have to have its own video, but for now, let's just say the British won, which they did. After France was kicked out of the Americas, British protection was no longer necessarily needed, and on top of that, harsh taxes were being put on the 13 colonies because of the need to pay war reparations from the war with France. Some of these taxes include the Sugar Act, the Tea Act, and the Stamp Act. So, in 1773, the Sons of Liberty protested the British Tea Act by throwing tons of tea into the water. This event came to be known as the Boston Tea Party. With riots and protests becoming increasingly more hostile, the British intended to go into the armory and take the weapons from the 13 colonies. Instead, huge groups of American and British soldiers gained together. In the chaos of them yelling and screaming at each other, someone fired first, resulting in the first battles of the American Revolutionary War, Lexington and Concord. To the surprise of the British, they were beaten by the rebellion. This was unacceptable in the eyes of the British, and they had to stop this rebellion quick before it grew larger. From this point on, multiple other battles would erupt across colonial America, such as Saratoga and, like I already said, Lexington and Concord. These battles will go down in American history. Sometimes, the American soldiers would even push into modern-day Canada, such as in the famous Battle of Quebec. After the Americans beat back the British on the Battle of Saratoga, the French offered to make an alliance with the Americans. The Americans, of course, accepted, and from that point on, the French aided in the war against the UK. Commander George Washington, after being beaten back by the British multiple times, had very low morale and had to raise it. He wanted a quick victory at the Battle of Trenton, but he had to get across the Delaware River to get to Trenton. And so, on 1776, Christmas Day, Commander George Washington, with a force of over 1,000 men, crossed the Delaware River to get to Trenton. The outcome? American victory, which convinced his soldiers to keep fighting for the cause of American freedom. With the British losing multiple battles, they began to lose a foothold in the Americas. They slowly lost more and more battles, and eventually peace terms came into the question. And on 1783, the British and Americans signed the Treaty of Paris, which would end the Revolutionary War, and America would finally gain its independence from the British Empire. After a very long time of purchasing more and more land, the United States of America, or the USA, would become the biggest global superpower, exceeding the power of Russia and Great Britain, which they gained independence from. The War of 1812 would still happen, and multiple other wars, but America would become the superpower of the world. Some wars to follow are the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, and the Mexican-American War, which were huge conflicts America was involved in. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my second documentary about American conflicts. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, and you do like the type of content I make, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for all the support I've been getting, and I really appreciate it. Now, on to the credits. Enjoy!
What a coin hath old England of folly and sins, right of Chatham and Camden, Barry, Burke, Wilkes, and Glyn. Not content with the game act, they tax fish and sea, and America drenched with hot water and tea. Derry down, 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 Derry down. There's no knowing where this oppression will stop. Some say there's no cure but a capital chop. And that I believe each American's wish, since you drenched them with tea and deprived them of fish. Derry, Derry, down, 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 Derry, down. Then freedom's the word both at home and abroad, and out every scammer that hides a good sword. Our forefathers